This is the June 2023 ACT. We're going to work problems 31 through 45. And we begin with let n be any even number greater than or equal to 4. So we'll just make n equals 4. Which of the following three expressions below must be equal to an even number? Okay, 4 over 2, that's going to be even. 2 times 4 is going to be even. The square root of 4 is going to be even. So 4 works. What about 6? 6 over 2 is 3. It's not always going to be even. 2 times 6, 2 times any even number. It's always going to be this one. It's always going to be this one. 2n. Makes sense. Because 2 times any number is always going to give you an even number. All right, 32. A vertical tower stands on level ground from, so here's the tower, from a point 200 feet from the base of the tower. So that's 200 feet from the base of the tower. The angle of elevation to the top of the tower, that's the angle of elevation, is 50 degrees. Which of the following is closest to the height of the tower? So we have opposite over adjacent, so it's the tan. Tan of 50 equals 200 over the tower. You can swap your extremes, opposite over adjacent. Opposite over adjacent, t over 200. It's t over 200. Even though I said that, I wrote it wrong. It's the tower over 200. So you just multiply. You don't have to swap your extremes. So it's 200 times 1.2, which is 240. You had to know SOHCAHTOA, right? In the figure below, the measure of A, B, C, all right, so let's just write it as we're doing it, is 87 degrees. A, B, E is 68 degrees. What does it want to know? D, B, E. All right. D, B, C. So DBC is 52 degrees. All right. So if we can calculate this, is going to be 87 minus, I can't even read my own writing, 87 minus 68. 87 minus 68. So this is 19 degrees. It wants to know DBC, so we need this one. So it's going to be 52 minus 19, 33 degrees. Nope, I circled 35 and said 33, huh? It's 33. C. All right, considering this number, what is a scientific... All right, so you have 630.6 times 10 to the 8. We're moving the decimal place back twice, so you're adding 2. So it's 6.306 A plus 2. 34 is K. And again, my Codico wants to play. All right, again, I'm not reading any of this. I'm going straight to the questions. Ed and Sarah bought P pairs of shoes. Ed is a member. Sarah's a non-member. So Ed is a member. Sarah's not a member. Ed's total cost, including the one-time fee of $40. And how much were the shoes? 90 times how many he bought equaled Sarah's. Was equal to Sarah's, but she paid 100 times P. So subtracting the 90P It's 10p is 40, so they paid $4 for shoes. That just makes 0 sense, huh? Nobody buys shoes for $4. Okay. From Run Online, a non-member purchased a total of 5 items. 2 hats. I'm just going to write the dollars amounts. 2 water bottles and 1 workout bag. Which of the following is the closest to the mean cost? So I'm going to add them and divide by 5. All right, for this non-member. That's 24 plus 30 plus 27, and we're dividing by 5. It's $16, 16.2 H. Okay, we're currently selling 100 water bottles to members. Members, right here. It was predicted that for every 50 cents decrease in the member price, so decrease of 50 cents, increase of 10 bottles to members. So they decide to lower the price to $10 from 14, so that's 8 50-cent decreases, so that's 80 more bottles of water that they're going to sell. Based on the predicted, excluding the one-time fee, what's the total revenue from the water bottles? Well, we're selling them for 10. We're selling 180, so it's $1,800. D. All right, 38. All right, 2 to the 6 times 10. This is, do you know how to raise a power to a power? This is actually the simplest one. So 2 raised to the 6th times 10 equals 640. There's only one of them. X to the 6, y squared. All right, what is the area? I see this oftentimes. You're always going to take the base that is either parallel to the x or the y axis. And then this will be your height, perpendicular to that vertices. All right, so this is the change in y. 10 minus 4 is 6. This is going to be the change in your x value. 8 minus 1 is 7. So it's 1/2, because remember, that's the area of a triangle of 7 times 6, which is 42. So that's 21. B is the solution. All right, which of the following expressions is undefined? Look, you can do that real quick in your calculator. Look, tan 0 equals. It's not undefined. It's going to give you an error. The tan of pi. Pi is shift the times 10 button. That gives me a number. All right, 1 divided by 1 over the sine of negative pi over divided by 2. Close your parentheses. That gives me a number. 1 divided by the cosine of 0. Close that. Okay, it's got to be k. I knew it was k, but you can do this so quickly. It takes no time. That's what it would give you, an error. All right? Given that I is the imaginary, which of the following numbers is equal to this? This is why I love this calculator. You put this E and G button is, oh, look, I have to clear that first. Your E and G button. If you don't get I with your E and G button, go to mode and you want it complex. All right? So it's 4 plus 3I, and we're going to square that. It'll give you the answer, 7 plus 24I. So this is just a calculator problem. All right, this is G of F of negative 1. So first you do F of negative 1. Whatever this solution is, then you plug it in to the G function. This says substitute negative 1 every place where X is. So that's 1 plus 5 plus 6, which is 12. So g of 12. 12 squared minus 7 times 12 minus 10. I can do this quickly in my calculator. Cody. That's my Cody Co. 50. K is the solution. Just a few more to go. We'll see if he'll settle down, huh? There's got to be something in my backyard. Must be something in the backyard moving around. All right, 43. For all non-zero values of x and y, which of the following is equal to? Okay, we're just multiplying. Let's just multiply them. 3, we'll just multiply them. Okay, now we'll simplify. Multiplication is addition, right? So that's 9. I'm adding 3 and 1, which is 4. I'm adding 2 and 2, which is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. And we'll write x fourth, y squared. Our x to the fourth. 3 goes into both of those. That's 3 over 2. You can simplify that. That becomes y. 4 minus 2 is 2. Oh, nope, it's just y to the first. That's 2. Just y to the first in the denominator. So it's 4 minus 1, which is 3. So it's 3y cubed over just 2. 3y cubed over 2a. In a 73-member choir of only altos and sopranos. So altos plus sopranos is 73. There were 19 more altos than sopranos. What is the ratio of altos to sopranos? All right, so I'm going to solve for sopranos first by substituting that in. So it's S plus 19 plus S is 73. To S, I'm subtracting the 19. 73 minus 19 equals 54. So sopranos is 27. If there are 27 sopranos, 73 minus 27, that's 46 altos. So it's 46 to 27. H is the solution. A drum contains 40 liters of potassium 6. The solution is mixed with 80 liters of pure water. What percent is the potassium? Well, we know we have 120 liters of something, potassium something. All right, when you have water in there, convert everything to water. So if it's 6% potassium, it's the rest is water. Plus 80 water, 100 equals 120 water something. All right, now you multiply the concentration, 0.94 times 40 plus 1.0 times 80 equals 120 times some concentration. All right, so we'll do this real quick in our calculators. 0.94 times 40 plus, it's just going to be 80. So we get 117.6 equals 120 times some concentration. So divide by 120. And so the water concentration is 98%. So 2% is the potassium. What's not water is potassium. All right. Given that the sine of theta, let's just put theta here. The sine is opposite over hypotenuse. What's the cosine? I need that side. So it's Pythagorean's theorem. A squared plus 2 squared equals 3 squared. That's 9. That's 4. So subtract the 4. A squared is 5. So this side is the square root of 5. So it's the square root of 5 over 3, because cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, square root of 5 over 3. A certain rectangular has a length of 7 coordinates, a width of 5 coordinates, and 0, 0 has got to be in the interior of the rectangle. The two vertices are at, look, the x value doesn't change. So that's got to be these. But the y value changes. No, it's this. The x value doesn't change. So that has to be, that difference is 5. So if the x coordinate for this is 3, 0, 0 has to be in between. We've got to go this way to find the x coordinate of the other two vertices. So subtract 7 and we get to negative 4. I guess I'm going to the end. I didn't stop at 45, did I? Two non-vertical parallel lines have the equations y equals mx plus b. The two lines are non-coincident. They have no solutions in common. If they have no solutions in common, they have the same slope, different y-intercept. Same m value, but their b is different. Same m value, but the b is different. So it's 2 and 3. 2 and 3 only are the ones that work. All right. We have graphs. Which one has all of these features? One of its intercept is negative 3. That's negative 3. Negative 3. Not negative 3. Not E. Not negative 3. Negative 3. It increases for every value greater than 3. Nope, this one's decreasing. Increasing. Increasing. It's not defined for x equals negative. It's not defined for x equals negative 2. That one is defined. All right, so C is your solution. All right, we're going all the way to the end here. We can do this. All right, 50. All right, we have this triangle. It wants to know the length of Q. I'm not even reading this. I know it's the law of cosines when it looks like this. So it's not F, G, or H. Because I'm looking for Q, the angle in the equation should be 120 degrees. And we should begin with Q. So K is the answer. All right, did you follow that? When we have a triangle like this, we have one angle. We're finding the side opposite of it. This has to be on the left-hand side. The 120 degrees, it's the bookends. Opposite side and angle. Our corresponding angle and side. All right? All right, 51. Consider the 4 expressions where m and n are greater than 2. All right, they're both greater than 2. So I'm probably just going to choose values for m and n. If it can be determined which of the 4 expressions must have the greatest value. Okay, let's make m 3, n 4, and then we'll make m 4. Like you could really do this at the very end, right? So that's, what is that? That's 3/2. No, that's 3 over 3. So I'm going to write it 1. That's 3/4. That's 3. That's gone smaller. 5ths. Okay, it's always when your numerator is at its largest. Denominator is at its smallest. Sorry, denominator is at its smallest value. It's at its smallest value here. All right, anytime the denominator gets smaller, the result gets bigger. So it has to be this one. And it looks like it. So I'm going to go ahead and guess this one. Of course, at the end of the test, that's what you would do. A is actually the solution. All right. The original price of an item was decreased by 20%. So if we take the original price times 0.80, we get the sales price. All right? This first price, the first reduced price was decreased by 20%, and then a second decreased by 50%. The price that resulted from the 3 decreases was what percent less than, all right? So let's just say we paid $1, right? Then we're paying 80%. Then we're decreasing it another 20%. So we're paying 80% of 80. So it's 80 times 0.8, which is 64. Then we're decreasing it by a half. So it's 64 times a half. So we're paying 32%. But how much less than the original price? It's 100 minus 32. We got 68% off. All right. 0.2 times 0.2 times 0.5 doesn't give you the right answer. All right, you see how I work that? 53. A particular employee produces 500 computers in a day. Here's the number of defects and how many days there are defects. So there are no defects for 14 days, 1 defect for 4 days. All right, based on this data, what is the expected number of defective computers on any given day? All right, well, let's see how many over the total number of days. So that's 14, 18. So it's over 20 days. How many are we going to have? We're going to have 4 on 1 day. So 4 plus 1 on 2 days. So that's 2 plus 1 on 3 days. That's 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 out of 20. They want it as a... So it's 0.45. A is the solution. Which the following is the equation of this circle. All right, so it's been shifted. Just visually, it looks like the center is here. Shift to the left is a plus. It's definitely not this because we've shifted it. And it's on the x-axis shifted left. It hasn't been shifted up or down, so that one doesn't work. That's a y. That one doesn't work. Shifted to the left is not minus, it's plus. So it has to be J. All right, a man left his bicycle out front today. He decided to walk home from his friend's house and then ride the bicycle back home along the same right. Okay, so a man walked at 3 miles per hour. So it's rate times time equals distance, right? For 1.5 hours. So it's 3 times 1.5 hours. And then rode his bike at 8 miles per hour. He arrived home 3 hours after he started. So if he walked for an hour and a half, visited for an hour and a half. Okay, we don't know how long he walked for, right? But we know that the time he walked plus the time he rode has to be 1.5 hours. He didn't walk for 1.5 hours. He stayed for 1.5 hours. My eraser is not working very well. At the end of the test, I probably would use my guess on this one. All right, then he rode his bike. So he rode his bike at 8 miles per hour. He arrived home 3 hours after he started. Which of the following values is closest to the number of miles? That's the distance that he rode. All right, so 3 times the time walked plus 8 times the time he rode is our distance. No, these two have to be equal. The 3 times the time he walked has to equal 8 times the time he rode, because he walked there and he came back home. All right, so we're just going to substitute for one of these. We'll just say we want to solve for the time walked. So let's say the time rode is 1.5 minus the time walked. So 3 times the time walked equals 8 times 1.5 minus the time walked. So 8 times 1.5 is 12. So it's 3 time walk equals 12 minus 8 time walk. We'll add 8 time walked. So it's 11 time walked equals 12. So the time walked is 12/11ths of an hour. Of that hour and a half. All right. That's how long he rode, but he was walking at 3 miles per hour. You then just multiply that by 3. So 12 divided by 11 times 3 is 3.3. B is the solution. Okay, it took a long time to get there, didn't it? All right, we have these points that lie in a standard coordinate plane. B lies on A, okay, such that AB, all right, so we have A, we have B, we have C. AB to BC is 1 to 2. So this is twice as long. Got it? So it's divided up into 3 pieces. All right. So what are the coordinates? We'll look at both of the coordinates, 8 and 5. And then we're going -4 and 11. We'll probably just look. Okay. So I really just need to divide that. That's 12. And we're dividing it into 3 equal pieces. This is 1/3, and that's 2/3. All right, so that's 12. So 1/3 of that is 4. And so 8 minus 4 is 4. All right, so that's the one. That's our x coordinate. So the difference there is 5 to 11. It didn't matter. You just had to do that one. All right, that one was a little easier. Last page, I do believe. All right, this is another ratio. You just have to write the ratios. It says A to B is 3 to 1. B to C is 6 to 1. B is in both of them. You make B the same value. Then you have A to B to C. So you multiply it by 6 over 6 so that A to B is, A is 18, B is 6, C is 1. And you just substitute it in here. We had another one just like this. So it's 2 times 18 plus 3 times 6 over 4 times 6 plus 3 times 1. And we can do this in our calculators. All right, 2 times 18 plus 3 times 6, which is 18, and then 4 times 6, which is 24, plus 3, and it is 2. Cody, Mom's almost done. Just wait. All right. The 3 equations below. Each of the equations is a graph. Which of the following equations will result in lines that have a negative slope? All right, look at this one. It's going to be by equals negative ax plus c. So this one will have a negative slope. This one, we're going to end up with negative by equals negative ax. We're going to divide by a negative, so that one will have a positive slope. And then this one, we're going to add the ax. So we have negative by equals positive a x. When we divide by the negative, it's going to have, so 1 and 3 are going to have negative slopes. All right, this has an inverse function. Which of the following is the expression? All right, so you have y equals 5 to the x over 2. All right, inverses, you swap the x's and the y. X equals 5 to the y over 2. Then you rewrite this, because this is logs, you rewrite this as the log. This is your base. So it's log base 5 of the solution equals the exponent. All right, and then you just multiply by 2 on both sides, and your answer is 2 times log base 5x e. All right, rectangle P has an area of 24 inches squared. Q has a perimeter of 24 inches, and they're rectangles, all right? The ratio of the area of rectangle P to Q is 2 to 3. Which of the following quantities can be determined from just the given information? Can we get the perimeter? No, because we can't find the length of a side. Can we get the area of Q? Yes, we can. We have the area and we have a ratio, and you can find the area. You can't get the ratio of the perimeters because you can't get the perimeter. So the only answer is G.